How this works for buyers and sellers, there's so many touch points here to make sure that they are getting the most out of their advertising budgets, but at the same time staying compliant there as well. And how much of, I guess, what you've detected so far is in the UK compared to the USA in terms of fraud?
Good question. I'd have to take a look at that. Actually, we work with the University of Delaware. They have a research department that usually once a year will write a white paper with us. They recently just did a study on where fraud's coming from. And what they found was that fraud dropped significantly from Russia right after the attack on Ukraine.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually studied the difference between what we see in the UK and what we see in the US. But I do know that when I've done the studies for geography, US seems to be higher up on the list because the spend is higher in the US versus any other single country out in the marketplace. So, and fraud always attacks where there's budget. So
right.
Then you also get a lot of attacks that will come from overseas. I know a couple of years ago, we did a report and we found a lot of fraud coming out of Germany for whatever reason. And we were able to pinpoint, different data points about that type of fraud. But what's happening a lot now is that they're using a lot of skill and a lot of technology to hide their IP address, even though they're coming from overseas, and we can see that. But their IP addresses, which pretty much what you based on your geography of where you're emanating from, is coming from a US IP address. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to identify where the true attacks are coming from when you summarize it through a database.